Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the bi-monthly Hogcast. I am your host, the Hog of the Hedge. Today I am joined by my three usual co-hosts. We have Alamis, the Meme Queen.
Hello.
We have James Best, Supremo Suburban Dad.
Hi.
And we have Sugar Daddy Dragon.
How can I follow up an introduction like that?
You can't.
I can't.
You simply can't.
You nailed it, James. You nailed it.
You nailed it, James. So today, as promised, for months and months and months and months, we're here to read Bowwasca. So James, if you'd like to take it away.
Bowwasca is a very lighthearted story, a very touching story between two girls as they figure their way out against their own personal problems, such as rape and incest. And I think everyone, this is a very family-friendly adventure that I think all the kids will love.
Excellent. Well, thank you, James.
I mean, if you're not reading this to your kids before bed, you're not a good parent.
Not
Exactly.
at all. Not at all. Just for those of you who might not have watched the stream, we did stream the first half of this on Halloween. It is, I think it's called the Bowwasca stream, the Bowwasca stream. So if you don't know the first half of the story, check that one out.
And for those of you that don't understand sarcasm, none of what we just said is true except for it being a stream. Do not read this to your kids.
I'm not actually James.
Yeah.
No, that's right. He's
Yeah,
Dragon.
James has been
We've
dead
been
for
lying
years.
to you all along.
James got
dead.
eaten by the skinned men.
You have to let me go,
He
guys.
got thrown into the shiny gentleman.
The crash was 12 years ago.
I can still hear his voice.
I can still hear his voice. Hey guys, you want to see this car do a flip?
All right, gang. It's time to begin. Without further ado, here is Bowwasca V.
A.k.a. Hedgehog and Alamis take over for most of the script.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
we get to relax.
And interrupt us a lot, inevitably.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Chapter 1. How long had I been asleep? And when had I realized that I wasn't anymore? I watched the ceiling fan circle slowly above me, doing nothing to dissipate the clouds of cigarette smoke that had drifted above my room for years. I started most mornings this way. But no, it wasn't morning, was it? I turned my head toward the bedroom window and confirmed the sky was dark outside of it. The last thing I recalled was being in the bathroom, and then silence and sweet darkness. Seth. I sat up and chugged an old bottle of water sitting on the floor next to the bed, and then threw the empty bottle at my closet door. I lit a cigarette and took a long drag, releasing a cloud of smoke up into the apathetic fan. It floated idly above me. Pulling on an old hoodie, I walked out into the small living room of the apartment I shared with my roommate.
Evening, princess.
Seth was reclining on the end of the couch, fingers flying across the keyboard of a notebook sitting on her lap. A confusing yet edgy indie movie played on the TV in front of her. This was pretty much Seth's life on any given day, and it perfectly summed up all my interactions with her since I'd moved in. Well, all of my sober interactions with her, anyway. I pulled down on my sleeves to subconsciously hide my arms like it made any sort of difference, but of course it didn't. Seth already knew.
See, that's Seth with an E for all the kids at home.
That's right, female. We're not lazy at all and didn't just put an E at the end of the name. She noticed what I was doing and her smile fell into a sobering look.
Found you passed out in the bathroom again.
Sorry. I reached for a half can of Mountain Dew that had been sitting on the counter for God only knew how long now.
You do realize how difficult it is for me to drag a 6'3" chick out of the bathroom and down the hall to her room?
Next time, just leave me there, man.
Hardly. You would have choked on your own vomit.
I shrugged. I knew this was the death lurking in my future anyway. But heroin afforded me one convenience that I refused to part with, a dreamless sleep. I'd die before I surrendered that. Besides, if the nightmares came back, I'd probably just kill myself anyway.
Relatable.
Relatable content.
Can anonymous whoever the hell just stop
can you
moving?
stop moving your cursor? That's really annoying.
Who's doing that? It's not me.
That's probably me scrolling down the text.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Is it you, Dragon?
It's not me.
No, it's me.
Okay.
I'm scrolling down the text. So
I
that
thought
would
it
be me.
was Alamis, to be honest.
I like how Hedgehog goes, yeah, it's me, and then Alamis goes, is that you, Dragon? No!
Listen, I
This is our-
refuse to believe the best in you. I only believe the worst.
And that's
Wow.
very smart of you.
I mean, I suspected Alamis, so...
Apparently, I'm not very smart then. So, okay.
Wow.
All right. Anyway.
You had some visitors today while you were passed out. Dreddy stopped by.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, he left you more drugs. Said you could pay him when you had the money. You know, he must be the sweetest, most generous drug dealer in all of Chicago.
Where is it?
You were sleeping like a baby in the tub, so I just left it next to you.
Cool.
In the toilet.
Dude.
Look, man, if you die, I don't get your half of the rent. And if I don't get your half of the rent, I have to get a real job. It's not business. No, it's just business, not personal.
Of course, that wasn't true. Seth and I had met at a darker time in both our lives and shared the sort of bond that only forged in such circumstances. Who was the other?
The other what?
The other visitor.
A girl, actually. I told her you were out. Figured you'd prefer I tell her that over the truth.
Did she say what she wanted?
No.
I swore. That was never good. It's probably just some girl coming over to beg for free drugs, which I didn't currently have because Seth had flushed them down the toilet, and I would never let her touch my private stash. That had to be it. What the fuck else could you want? Great, so some chick either wants to hook up or is coming over to hook up.
You
Wants
wish.
to hook up. Blah, blah. Butchered that line.
You wish. This chick was way beyond anything you could ever get.
Really? Because she did come asking around for me, didn't she?
Sure, but I'm the one who got her number.
No, you fucking didn't. I walked into the kitchen and took one of our 3 glasses out of the cupboard.
Oh, I did.
She held up a torn shard of white paper.
She gave it to me and asked me to call her when you came home.
She used air quotes in the last 2 words. Yeah, well, don't. I don't want anything to do with... Thank you, James.
Thanks,
You're
James. Sound effects crew.
Sound effects crew. I shot Seth a poisonous look.
What? She's really hot, and you can't stand in the way of true love.
She began to walk towards the door. Don't open it.
Sorry, Sam, but you know I have a thing for redheads.
Redheads? What? Do I know any redheads? I couldn't place one for the life of me. And then Seth opened the door to reveal Kimber Destaro standing on the other side. I suddenly felt like a bucket of ice water had been dumped on my soul. I had a few seconds to study her before her eyes found me leaning against the counter in the kitchen. She was still very short, but her hair was longer, halfway down her back it looked like, and she was, of course, almost 10 years older than the last time I'd seen her. Looking at her after all these years was physically crippling. I had to make a concentrated effort to stay on my feet while my knees tried to buckle underneath me. Just seeing her face brought back painful memories I thought long buried. She was like a mirage long dead, returning to torture me. Kimber's eyes finally found me as she nervously clutched her cell phone in her hands, turning it over and over again against her chest.
Hi, Sam.
Her words showed confidence that she herself didn't seem to be feeling. Since Kimber had actually spoken to me, I could probably confirm that this wasn't a nightmare. She was really here. And if she was real, that meant that it was all real too. A shudder racked through my body, and I wound my white-knuckled fingers around the edge of the countertop. Why are you here? I hadn't meant to sound so angry. My words seemed to rattle Kimber, and she took a step back.
I...
Seth watched the exchange with interest, but didn't interfere. You shouldn't be here, Kimber. I just wanted her to leave. This needed to end before I lost it. After she was gone, I could pretend she was just a nightmare seeping through the veil. Kimber hesitated. I saw her calculating in her mind as she watched me, her lips moving only slightly as she organized all the variables in her head. It was such a Kimber thing to do, and it made me realize how much I missed her. I saw the exact moment Kimber found in her mind what she was looking for.
Did you get my letter?
Yes.
And?
And I threw it away. Lies. She faltered for only a moment.
Did you read it?
I didn't say anything, but I knew she could read the answer on my face. When neither of us spoke, an awkward tension began to bleed into the room.
So, I'm Seth.